What's up, YouTube? How's it going today? Today is going to be a video about how I plan my day, how I structure my day, and how I plan for success every single day in my mobile welding business. Now, I do work a full-time job alongside my welding business, but I do work kind of an odd schedule. So I work third shift, but I have working a lot of overtime right now because we're short-handed with the labor shortage and all that. I'm a pipe fitter welder, as many of you know. Um, I work 12s right now. Sometimes I'll work spotty overtime if I want. The overtime's there, but I'm trying to focus on my business and build that up. So since I work third shift, it's kind of hard, but so I work from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and then I'll come home, I'll work out, and then I'll probably sleep. And then on the days I have off, so I'll work 4 on, 3 off, 3 on, 4 off, and sometimes I'll work in between there. I'll work a straight week for overtime. But the days I do have off, I wake up. I don't really hold to the third shift sleep schedule, so I'll take a nap and then I'll sleep at night and I'll wake up at 4:30 a.m. I'll go work out, and then I'll eat a hearty breakfast, and then I'll get to either doing jobs I've lined up, or I'll work on my website, I'll work on marketing, I'll work on various different stuff. Sometimes I'll just hang out, chill out, hang with my girlfriend, play with my dog, get stuff done around the house. But other times I am strictly focused on my business and how to grow it, I guess. And there's many different ways you can grow the business, and I've done many videos on this. But the biggest one I would recommend is getting out there, cold calling, and meeting people. Networking is huge. So basically, networking and cold calling, what I mean by that is you can call different businesses in the area, give them a call, let them know who you are, and take down your number if they need any welding services. Or you can go straight up to the business, which I've done plenty times, ask to speak to the owner or someone, a manager or someone, and I give them my business card, a couple business cards, and I introduce myself. I always look very professional when I show up, and yeah, that usually brings me a lot of business. And try to stay off Craigslist. I post maybe one ad a month. I don't really post very often on there. Yeah, I've gotten a couple leads from there, but I try to stay away from Craigslist because it's a lot of cheaper people and tire kickers. So it's not really the best. But I have gotten a few good jobs off Craigslist that then lead to more jobs and more reviews, and it only builds upon itself. So that's another tip I have, is keep the advertising to a low on Craigslist, but you should create a Facebook, Instagram. I'm doing a YouTube now, but and then you should do, Google My Business, Yelp, all that kind of stuff. You don't really have to pay for it either. You don't have to have like the AdWords or whatever, but you could if you want to. That might bring you more business. But mobile welding is kind of like a more selective market, other than like landscaping, lawn care. Everyone needs some landscaping and lawn care, and that's a much easier business to grow and be profitable from, I feel like, because it's a lot easier to get business that way. But the mobile welding is only specific to certain clients, and I don't really do much residential. I don't really build stairways or railings or none of that, but I mainly focus on commercial, industrial. So some commercial jobs, for example, are like some piping jobs. Some residential I do, but really not that much. It's just because that's not really my market. It's mainly industrial, like equipment repair and stuff like that. So you got to find your niche. You got to find it, because if you're a Joe Schmo who can do everything, but you're really not good at one or two things, then you just be known as a good at everything guy, and you won't really be specific in your business. You need to be specific. You need to have something you're very, very good at, one or two, maybe three things that you're known for, that you can do this no matter what, and you're the best at it. But if you're like a handyman, for example, I don't recommend doing that. I mean, you can if you want, but for example, like they can do minor electrical, minor woodworking, minor this, minor that, but they're not really specialized in anything. If someone wants a plumbing job, they're most likely not going to call a handyman, they're going to call a plumber, because that's specifically what they do, so they're really, really good at it. So find out what you're really good at and try to stay in that market and try to stay within those boundaries. If you're really good at stairs and railings and platforms and walkways, stick with that. If you're really good at repair welding, like me, you go on site and you repair heavy equipment, and stick to that. If you're really good at pipelining welding and that's something you want to get into, stick to that. So I don't really have much experience with pipelining. Yeah, I can weld pipe, but not like the huge pipe that they weld on. I don't really have that experience, so I can't give money tips on that. But it's just so important to just find something you're good at and stick to that, because then you will grow your business the way you want to grow it, and you'll grow it in a sense with the customer base you want. So, but yeah, so it's hard to grow your business the first 1 or 2 years, or it's going to be very stagnant, and no one's really going to know you. So, I mean, why would they hire you if they don't know you? They don't know your work. You don't have reviews. It's hard to grow your business. It really is. And I've been at it for probably, I'd say about a year now. And I've been getting a lot of work, but not like to the point where it's overwhelming. And I kind of like it that way because I stay at my full-time job. But it's enough money to make on the side that I can do my taxes and still pay myself a little bit. But I recommend that you, before you go full-time, to make sure you have enough business. Like I said in the previous video, you need to make sure you have consistent lined up business, repeat customers, and all that kind of stuff. So still working on building out my rig. Right now I've been using my generator and then a small welder off that, but I'm waiting for my welder generator to come in, or if I can find a better deal on Craigslist for some kind of used generator, that'd be awesome. But that's what I'm using right now. It's not the most logical setup, but it's what I got for now. And eventually I'd like to get something more made for, like a welder generator is made for welding. It's specific for that. It can handle a lot more load and run tools off of it and run stick, wire, and TIG. It's great for that. So I'd recommend definitely trying to save up for a welder generator. I don't recommend taking out loans for the business. You can do whatever you want, but I suggest you just pay everything in cash. Maybe a vehicle loan, but that's about it. You don't need the biggest, baddest vehicle out there. Just something 3/4 ton, 1 ton, something around that range. You don't need a dually. Like I said, I did another video on that, describing what I looked for in a truck and what I picked. So I picked a 1 ton, but not the dually, a Duramax diesel. And it all depends on what you need it for and what type of business you're going in. Like what your niche is, your niche, however you say that. But it's important to get a good solid work truck that's going to be dependable. You don't want to be stuck on a job site that just looks unprofessional, doesn't look good, and then it's a headache for you. So if you gotta spend the money on a used vehicle, slightly used, but it's not, doesn't have all the bells and whistles like the heated seats. You don't need all that stuff anyway, in my opinion. If you're just going to use a truck for a work truck, maybe eventually when you get up to that stage it'd be nice, but starting off you definitely don't need that stuff. You can find a good truck for under 30 grand, under 20 grand even. But like I said, I wouldn't go too cheap on the equipment, because you don't want, it's better to buy really good equipment and have it not break down for a while than buy used equipment and have it break down every month and having to put tons of money into it. Because eventually it's gonna be not worth your time to keep fixing it and keep putting money into it. You'll barely break even, so it's not worth it. And just make sure that you pay yourself as an owner's profit. So, and yeah, the next video I'm going to be doing is about should you hire employees. Yeah, so that's a different video. That's a whole nother subject. But hiring employees can be a whole nightmare, especially when you own a welding business. It's kind of dangerous, and some people don't even know what they're doing, and they're looking for a job, but they have no idea what it entails. So yeah, that'll be the next video. Thanks for watching.